Then at the top, you're going to hit the plus quiz to create a new quiz. You're going to go through all of the information here. You want to make sure you give your quiz a detailed name. If you have any instructions, the instructions will go down here. You have several choices here. You could do graded quiz, practice quiz, graded survey, or ungraded survey. Right now we're just going to talk about the graded quiz. Some other settings that we have below are shuffle answers or give yourself a time limit. Note that even if you give a time limit, you can moderate for students with disabilities and give them extended time. So if that's something that's important to you, you can do that in here. You can also allow multiple attempts, so that if this is a practice quiz, something that you want them to continue to do, or you'll take the highest grade, you can allow multiple attempts. If you choose that, it will give you some options here and give you a number of attempts. You can leave it blank to allow them unlimited attempts. Another setting that's really important for you to do is to know that it automatically lets them see their quiz responses. If that's not something you want them to do, then you can uncheck that box. But if you want them to see it at a certain time, maybe after everyone has taken the test, you can go ahead and open that up. You can revisit these settings even after students have taken the quiz. So if that's something that you wanted to do. I highly recommend that you at the minimum use an access code if this is something that you are taking a grade on. This will allow only those students in the class at that time to take the test. Now, after each period, or as soon as everyone gets logged in during that period, you can go in and change that access code for the next period. So if you're giving this test multiple times, you're going to want to change that code so the students don't share it. You can filter by IP address, but here in Noblesville, we don't always know the IP address, so that's not going to be helpful because we have multiple. Something nice is that you can assign to everyone, or if you have sections, you can do the different sections, or you can type in a specific student's name if you only have to give it to a few students. I always recommend that you have a due date, and if you want to make it available from a specific date to a specific date, you can do that. I don't recommend that. If you have students that are sick, then you have to make sure that you go in and change that, and sometimes you can forget, and that can be not fun. Right now, we're not going to click save and publish or even save because we're going to go back up and we need questions in this quiz. Scroll all the way back up to the top, hopefully I didn't make you dizzy there, and click on the tab labeled questions. Now there's a couple different things here. If you have word banks or question banks already in your instance, then you could go find them. I don't have any in here, so I won't have that. We're going to start with just a new question. Questions can be multiple choice, true, false, fill in the blank, fill in multiple blanks, multiple answers, multiple drop downs, matching, numerical answers, formula questions, essay questions, file upload questions, and a text no question. You might use this if you have like a paragraph for them to read and then multiple questions after the paragraph. You might use this if you have a video that you want them to watch and then answer multiple questions afterwards. Lots of different choices there. So the one tricky one, so let me show you multiple choice first. Number one, you can keep this at 1 or change it. You put your question in here and see you have your full text box capabilities. You can add a video, you can add audio. Audio would be nice. You can read the question right there, so students with disabilities or English language learners would not need the support of the teacher to read the questions. It would actually just be right there in the quiz. In the answers, always note that the first answer is the correct answer. You can change that simply by clicking the little arrow and making it a different question. Another thing you can do is you just get this little bitty box here to type in the answer, but if you wanted to add images or heck, even videos, you could add them right here. You hit the little pencil and it will give you the full text box again. When you have all of your answers, you can actually give extra comments. So if you're going to let your students see their answers, you can have extra comments as to description why this is right or why this one's wrong. You hit update question, and then you'll have your question right there. You can just continue to add new questions, or you can go back and edit that question by hitting the pencil. Question groups are also really good because you can create a question group that maybe has, if you're going to have students retake a test several times, if you maybe had 10 questions and you said pick 5 questions, so you would put 10 questions in this box and it would randomly pick 5 of those 10 questions. So you would create the group, and then you're going to go up here and hit the plus sign, and it's going to create another question inside that group. See how we're inside the group? If you have multiple, fill in multiple blanks. It actually gives you the definition up there. So we'll just take their example. Roses are color 1. So down here, we need to put the answers. So color 1, we're going to choose first, red. And again, you can have multiple choices, multiple answers here for them to make sure that any of those that they get in there is correct. And then here, blue, blue. And then update question. All right, so this is going to tell you, and again, it's going to give me this warning until I get to 5 questions, at least 5 questions. Or fill in the blank questions. You're just going to want to make your sentence and then add the blank. And then below that, we'll have the choices. And then hit update question. Now this question right now is outside the group, but I want to put it in the group. So I'm going to go ahead and just drag and drop it right into the group. I still need at least 2 more questions, so I'm going to go up to this plus because I want the questions to be in the group. And this one, obviously, I want B to be the answer, so I'm going to click on that one. Update question. Give me an essay question. And in this case, there's only one answer. It's not a rounded problem or anything like that. But if it weren't, you could put in the range with a margin of error, or you could have more than one choice as an answer. All right, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 questions. Perfect, so I'm going to save this. Now, because I have more than 5 questions, when the students take it, it will each time randomly give them 5 of those 7 questions. So here we are, we can check it, red, blue. Now, I did not shuffle answers on this one because I had things like this, but sometimes you can shuffle answers if you want to. On essay questions, it will not grade them, obviously. The teacher will need to grade those questions, but on the multiple choice questions, it will be graded for you, and this is what the students would see as well. All right, that is how we create a quiz. Now come back later and you will learn how to score quizzes. Thank you.